Now, why I'm hitting this morning is, I would point you to a verse that a dear man used to talk about. I never knew it or looked it up before in detail, but it is on page 766. 766. And it's Daniel 4, and it's part of that account of Nebuchadnezzar. Page 766, and Galatians 4, and then verse 33. Immediately the word was fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from among men, and ate grass like an ox, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hair grew as long as eagle's feathers, and his nails were like birds' claws. And this dear man who first told me about the victorious life used to say that, and he still probably says it. Says, yeah, if you don't go into that, brother, your body will be wet with the dew of heaven, and your hair will grow as long as eagle's feathers, and your nails will be like birds' claws. And of course, obviously what he was referring to was that Nebuchadnezzar was a man who was prospered mightily by God and had a mighty kingdom. But he did not stay under God's trust and under God's dependence. And this is how he ended up. Now, could I testify to you from my own experience? That's what you'll end up like if you don't go on. If you don't go on into the deliverance that God has wrought in Jesus, lo and behold, loved ones, you will end up, Satan will make a clown of you. He really will. He'll make a mockery of you. He will. He'll bring you to a place that is humiliating and that is pitiful. He will. I think many of us, you see, think, well, no, Satan is not that bad. He won't take us right to the end. He will. He is ruthless. He has no love of you or me whatever. He will destroy you and then redestroy you and then redestroy you after that. He will keep on burrowing in until there's nothing left of you. And some of us say, you know, well, we don't like the idea of dying with Jesus. You either die with Jesus or you'll die under this guy's hand. You'll either die with Jesus or you'll eventually come to a place where your Christianity is a laughing stock for you, and where your Christianity is laid on the ground and you find yourself in this position. Why? Because if you're really born of God, you're spoiled for the world. You're spoiled for the world. You're really spoiled for the world. You've known something of God. You know there's a better way, and there's no going back. You can never go back. So if you go back like Nebuchadnezzar, you end up in this spot. You can't feel your way through again to the kind of ignorant, independent sin that you were involved in before. So if you don't go the whole way with God, you'll end up like this. Now, the reason I testify to it this morning is that the death must be complete. That is, I don't know if you can really catch it, but it really does mean Bob Scott, Bob Failing, Bob Cook, Clyde Anderson, Dan Fowler, John Spaulding, Jim Maher, Ernest O'Neill. It means us being crucified and ended as to what we have been up to this time. That's what it means. And that's what God, I remember, showed me 20 years ago. That it means the ending of us men and women for what we have been in our life. It means the dying of what we have been known as. It means a dying of us. It means that all that we have been up to this moment is crucified and destroyed by God in Jesus, has already been, and we're saying we accept that. And you know, if you say, from now on you're a nobody, yeah, that's right, you're a nobody. Thank God you don't end up a nobody. He gloriously fulfills his promise of filling you with the Holy Spirit and moving you on and moving you into that victorious life that Jesus is living at the right hand of God. But that's what you become. You become a vessel in whom the Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God, lives his victorious life. And actually, you yourself don't get any more of that selfish satisfaction out of it. You regard your own life as finished and dead from that moment on. And that has to be a complete work, loved ones. That's what the Holy Spirit witnesses to when he fills you. He witnesses to the completeness of that work.